First off, rest in peace, neighborhood Nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black home. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, based over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man
Weave. Oh, I guess that's me. I guess we're live. Is that
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? We back again. We back again with another episode of the 3-Man Weave podcast. As you can see, it is still two of us, and our good brother Cannon is holding things down. Got a whole lot of cool shit going on, and we are proud of him to do so. We are gonna hold it down per the usual. So we're doing episode 135 tonight, and it's going to be a fun one. As you know, you already got your boy AJ, Mr. Red Cup. Got a little something in here. So, I've been drinking. So, who I got with me?
You already know who it is. It's your boy Hill. Hill gonna heal regardless, fresh off work. I left my equipment at the crib, so I'm out here winging it with just my power beats, and that's it. And my phone.
All right, it's all right. We're gonna power through this one, and we got them in here.
We got the real truth.
Start off the show every week. Bucks Nation. What's going on, big dog? But
I know y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _ TikTok and Twitch, 3-Man Weave _ You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. We lost one, man. We lost a great.
Yeah,
man.
Definitely. And it's funny because we do have a Madden League going, and just with that news, it's like I will say Madden is one of the only video games I've probably consistently have had, since the childhood, since its inception. Well, I won't say since its inception, but as that was one of the very first games that I got when I got my very first game system and all of that. And it's just like, that one was a tough one, man. And to be quite honest, I didn't know he was still alive just as of late, because he had really just been ghost. I haven't heard or seen from him, and then they had this all Madden on the way. So started doing a little bit of just a little bit of my Googles, and I was like, oh shit. And so it was cool to kind of get that pleasure, that pleasurable surprise. But unfortunately, he did pass away. But I mean, lived a great life. He is the reason that so many people actually know a lot about football.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I what I can say is he definitely was a legend and left his mark.
He definitely was a legend, and like I said, beyond the game, like I said, the game took over a whole new height for him. But you did your research on him. He was actually a good coach. Like you said, he has a ring. He has a Super Bowl credibility to back it up. You know what I'm saying? So he was one of those ones that actually, he was living what he was talking about. He actually knew the game. And as the game evolved, he actually evolved. He wasn't one of those ones that, well, back in my day, we used to, he used to keep it current. And his, comedic relief to how he used to come with the game, and, how he used to boom, and, and how he used to draw, and the way he called the game, man, it was just different, man. Him and Pat Summerall was just definitely.
Just about to say it.
Man, peanut butter and jelly, man. They just went together perfectly, man. Because Pat was so smooth. Man.
Frank's red hot.
Pat was so smooth on anything. And calm, stoic, and then Madden come in. But like I said, how the game took over new heights. definitely was a staple in my life that, I used to get it at midnight. I used to stay with me and my homeboys, just go at GameStop at night, get it at midnight, wait in the line. We was doing that as youngins. Then, we were still getting it now at midnight. We download it now. So we still playing it, like we still doing it to this day. And it's like it's just crazy. But like, everybody got to transition eventually. So
no, 100%, 100%.
What was your favorite Madden though?
My favorite Madden. So I would say my favorite Madden was 2004.
It has to be.
It has to be.
It has to be.
It was just different, yo.
That
was just the one. It was just the
one.
Why
did they stop? Why did they found the formula? Why did they stop?
Man, it was just like, and I don't know if a lot of people notice, but I, for the longest, I actually was an NCAA guy. So I would always play NCAA. But 04, I had to get it. It was only right. I had to get it. And because I think 04 was one of the games that was pretty close to NCAA. Because NCAA, when you played it, the players ran faster. It was almost like the motion was a little bit smoother. But when you got the Madden, it seemed like everybody was kind of slowed down and it was a little bit more robotic. But when that 04 came out, it just felt different. It felt like it was pretty close to how the gameplay was. And, of course, it's 2000, 2000. I think it was 2003, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
So the gameplay was, I ain't saying it's supposed to be on a next-gen console, but just at the time, for what it was just like, okay, they changed the game with this one.
Yeah. They're blocking, the blocking, how they do it, introducing the hit stick and everything. It was like, this is different, and this is what the game is supposed to be. But when they brought in that QB vision, I'm gonna let you know right now, that was the worst feature ever in life.
I was terrible with the QB vision. I was terrible.
If you had a bad quarterback, you might well just not play.
Oh, yeah. It was over. Turn that shit off something, because it was about to get nasty.
I think like I said, 04 was definitely one of the ones for me, but I think it was 08. I'm gonna say 08 or 07, whatever the first one was for the PS3.
Yeah.
That was the one for me. That they had a dynamic feature for like some of your players, and it was like, man, like if you had a dynamic wide receiver, man, just throw it up. And
yes,
they was actually going up and going to get it, and they was getting hit. And I was actually nationally ranked that year online. Like it was crazy. Like that was a great Madden. I'm not saying it because I was nationally ranked. I'm just saying that gameplay, maybe because it was different, because it was the PS3, it was the first one, but it was different, and I definitely enjoyed it. That's one of the best ones for me.
So mine are kind of tied into me pretty much. So my favorite outside of 04 is 05 and 2012. And the reason why 05 and 2012 and 13 are some of my favorite is because I could actually play it and actually be competitive, because I'm one of those people. I gotta play with my team.
Yeah.
So like whenever I'm one of those. Whenever the game come out, I just grab my team. So I didn't play 2K for a while because guess what? Suns was ass cheeks. I was playing college football because I could do a little bit more with Florida State than I could do with the Bengals. But the 05 game, it was over. I was cracking heads. I had Carson, I had Chad, I had DJ. Yeah. Then I had the Orange Pickers on defense with Odell Thurman, Delph O'Neal, you know what I mean? So I was able to do something, and it was fun. And like I said, they still kind of had some of the residual things left over from 04. And then also in the 2012, 2013 games, that's when I had AJ and some other players. So it's just like, okay, I can do some stuff. And it actually is fun because I'm not getting my head cracked every single time I pick up the sticks.
I played with the Bengals. I played with the Bengals my sophomore year in college when I moved to the apartments, Etrick Apartments.
Take it to the apartments.
My roommates, they got me into gambling, for Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Like they was doing that before I got there, and I came in and I beat everybody. They were like, "Oh, this dude is real." And my team, like I said, my team was the Bengals. I was definitely playing with Chad, TJ Houshmandzadeh, Rudy Johnson, Carson. They was my guys. So I definitely know how you feel about that, because I definitely was one of the ones before then. Like I say, before the 07 one I told you about, I wasn't playing with the Cowboys. I just I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It wasn't fun. And we were younger then, so it's like we playing the game for fun. We're not trying to But what I can say, when that year, like I say, when I had T.O. going crazy with Romo that year, like it's on the PlayStation 3, that was the year. And I've been sticking with my boys, ever since, playing it competitively. So we're gonna miss somebody.
100%. So before we get off of Madden, I just need, because till this day, of course, but until this day, every single year, I always have a story of how I got cheated in Madden. So I need to hear what's the craziest story that you have about getting cheated in Madden.
Damn,
that playing close. You hear that shit?
Yeah. My line brother found this glitch, right? It's halfway recent. It's almost let's say, matter of fact, it's 2011. It's 2011. My line brother he found this glitch on how to, whatever. Your cornerback doesn't move on this, whatever glitch that he got going on that he found with this special play that he do. He's running back in motion, and next thing you know, whoever defended him does not move on this play. Wide open. So I had to figure that out. So as we're playing online, I figured out how to actually compete with them. You couldn't really stop it every play, but I could actually contain it just enough that I can compete with them. So I do this game. I'm going all the way to the wire. I march down the field. I score. I tie the game up. I go to kick the field goal. Finger slip off the controller. Shame. And you talking about somebody that was sick, because he been beating my ass routinely in Madden for this entire time, because it's hard to beat him with this glitch that he got going on. So I know I'm finally about to win this game. Finally about to win. And I shake the field goal. The chip shot joint. The extra point.
True agony.
Oh, you talking about somebody that was pissed.
I actually have quite a few. I be getting cheated a lot. And I've sent you videos of me getting cheated. And
the recent joint.
It'd be bad on the recent joints. But the worst one, I was playing my cousin Eddard, bro. And I always we always go back and forth, but when he win, it's always on some fluke shit. I never forget. What was the one with Eddie George on the cover?
03. It's in those. I think it's 03 though.
So this ain't the one, but I'm gonna just give you just a little, background of some of the bullshit that he be getting on. So I'm up by 1. He's going for 2 with 3 seconds left on the game. He does a pitch to Eddie George. I hit him. He bounces off my tackler in the backfield. But when he bounces off, it knocked him back 5 yards. And so I said, everybody's coming after him. And all he does is just hit the spin button. But as he's hitting the spin button, he's going backwards. Nobody's tackling him. He goes back 60 yards. Everyone falls. He just takes off. Scores 2. Controller goes through the wall. Take the cord out the wall. Take the cord out of the wall. We're not playing for the rest of the weekend. Go home. I don't want to see you no more.
You got to square up after that. Yeah, to be quite honest. That's their cousin. That's their cousin squabble right there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Hit him with a flower pot later that weekend. It might have been a little residual from that. But then, so I think it was Madden. It was 04 because it was Vic. Yes, it was 04 because it was Vic. So he has Michael Vick, of course.
Cheating.
But here's the thing: it wasn't what you think. He didn't run for it, so he's down. He's down 6. Throws it in the end zone. I pick it. Take a knee. Game gives him the touchdown.
Nah. We're not even going for that one. We're not even going for that
and
one.
He didn't even acknowledge it. He's just like, nah.
No, you're gonna acknowledge that one. Like,
we're not doing that. I'm hit. Boop. Take the game out. obviously, PlayStation needs to calm down. Boop. Let's go. We're gonna wrap this one up here, buddy. So yeah,
we're not going for that one. That was been the one right then and there. Like, hey, look, bro, come on. You know who won that one. You know what time it is.
No. And then the fact that he did acknowledge it and say, I've been beating your ass. This 4 straight. Nah, no, it's not. It's not 4 straight. And we about to really look. We about to settle this. We gonna lock this door. Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch.
Yeah, that has happened.
And see, look, boom. I know I'm not tripping. You see what I'm saying? Like this shit be happening. Our guy Mark said my bro ran 80 yards backwards with Vic just to run 100 yards and break my whole team ankles in the process of getting the TV.
Yeah, those be the ones.
Is different, bro.
Luckily, I don't get those that much. Like I didn't, those don't happen to me because I would definitely I had an anger issue. So I'm better.
Yeah, and so am I. So am I then.
You know what I'm saying? I've changed, my brother.
Those daughters they'll do it to you, they say.
Yeah, or make it worse. Oh man. So what's going on, man? We gotta before we go we got a college football playoff this weekend.
Yes, sir.
You got any quick thoughts, or you want to get into it? What you got? I'm going for Cincinnati.
Oh well, I gotta go for the gang. Gotta go for Cincinnati.
I know you're going for them, but do you actually believe in deep down inside that they're gonna win?
So it is football. So I'm not gonna say like, oh, guarantee that they can win, but I 100% believe they have a chance. And like I've said before, and like I've been saying all season, the reason why I felt like they deserved to get a shot was because of how well they played against Georgia last year in that bowl. Yeah. They had Georgia on the ropes, and until it wasn't. I think it was James Wiggins, the tackle. I don't know if that was his name. I think James Wiggins was a safety, but it was their tackle. He ended up going in the 3rd round, I believe. But when he got hurt, that's when Georgia really got back into the game, because once he got hurt, Azeez Ojulari started eating. He was shutting Azeez Ojulari down. Mm-hmm. And up until that point, Georgia was on the ropes. And then it took a last-second field goal to beat them. And so that's what actually got him drafted. Exactly. And so I don't like to me, it's not that they can't hang with anybody. It is just sometimes it's the depth. We see that a lot when those Power 5 teams go against those Group of 5 teams. The Group of 5 teams usually they have athletes, they have players. Like you look at Cincinnati's offense and defense, they got players. Mm-hmm. But then it's when you get to the 2 deep, that's when things start to get a little bit different, when you start rotating guys in, or you lose somebody in that starting lineup. It look a little bit different. But you got to go up against probably the best cornerback tandem in the nation with Kobe Bryant and Sauce Gardner, and they lost Michi for the season. So that Bama may be able to run the ball, but that passing game is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them, and I don't think it's going to be easy.
I think they're actually going to win.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna guarantee it, but I'm not gonna say it's Cincinnati. But I just think
I didn't get this.
Go ahead.
I don't get the feel from Bama that I usually get. Like, I think Bama just won this year because they're Bama. You know, we just better than everybody. You know, but they wasn't really looking like the old Bama team that we're accustomed to because they're a little younger. They're a little
Right,
younger this year,
100%.
and they didn't really look like Bama until the SEC championship when they beat the brakes out of Georgia.
Right.
I'm like, okay, this is the Bama team that we are accustomed to seeing. This is the domination, the dominant that we're accustomed to. I'm like, okay, this is it. But it's like they ain't been doing that a lot this whole season. They just been winning, you know, it's cool, yeah, with Bama, ha ha ha, you know. That's it. So it's like I think they're gonna come in there with that same approach. Like I don't think they're gonna fear Cincinnati. I think they're gonna be like Cincinnati do not belong on the field with us. They're gonna try to take them lightly, and Cincinnati's gonna punch them in the mouth. And by the time they realize that they are getting punched, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late to come back.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
and I think with Cincinnati too, offensively, they got some guys that can break the game open. They have some guys. They got what people fail to realize is Cincinnati. They get a lot of players, you know, from homegrown Midwest players, but they get some of those. They get some of those guys from from Florida too. They reach down. They reach down in Florida. They reach down in Texas and get some of those guys with some speed too. There's some guys on that offense that can really blow past you. And you saw that in, the AAC championship game. You saw it against Notre Dame. So I think personally, like I said, I'm pulling for Cincinnati. I 100% believe they have a shot. And so to me, I think that's actually going to be one of the better games of the college football bowl season. You don't think so?
Because the next game that we about to talk about is going to be the game.
Oh, no. I want to talk about this because Go ahead.
I mean, this is going to be. Have you done with Bama and Cincinnati?
Yeah, I'm done.
Now they got to say Michigan and Georgia is going to be the game. That's going to be one of those ballroom brawls. Stand in the middle ring and slug it out. Heavyweight bouts. Let's get it. And it's a mirror match, to be quite honest. Just one come from Michigan, one from Georgia. It's just, in my opinion. So. Just who's going to have the less mistakes, who's going to do the less mistakes is really going to come down to. Because I really don't see I personally don't see a coaching advantage. I don't see a player advantage. I see, tail of the tape. I see an equal opportunity team. They've been going against, tough competition, both sides, and they just mirror each other. So I feel it's going to be, like I said, who's going to be the less of the mistakes. But I trust Kirby Smart in this position way more than I trust John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, I trust.
No diss to him. It's just you're just now getting here. You're just now getting to the party. Yeah, Kirby, have come short a couple times. I get that, but he came short to who?
Exactly, Saban.
Kept coming short to that guy. You know what I'm saying? You have to show me. And if Jim shows me, Michigan shows me, that I have no problem saying, hey, y'all deserve to be here because y'all do deserve to be here.
Oh, 100%. And
I just feel like it's going to be, a big old slugfest. And I think that Georgia is ready. It's going to be more prepared for that.
Right. I actually think Harbaugh pulls this shit off. Because
I had a feeling you would go think that way. So I'm glad I went first.
I think he'll pull it off. And I don't know why. I have no rhyme or reason because, once again, this is going to be one of those defensive matchups. I don't trust Georgia's quarterback play. Their defense, 100%, I feel, is real. They've had one of the better defenses in the nation all year long. But offensively, I don't trust them. And 100% starts with the quarterback. And Michigan has the pieces to get to that quarterback. And it is gonna be a slugfest. And I just think Harbaugh is gonna. I think he knows what winning this game can do. And I think he's gonna have that team prepared and motivated.
What is winning this team going to do? Please explain that.
No. I'm just saying, like,
because I got a rebuttal.
I'm talking about as far as his the perception of him, because
I got a rebuttal.
I thought him losing to Ohio State for years was gonna cost him his job, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Then he beats Ohio State, and you win a game in the college football playoff. I think it's gonna start taking you. People are actually gonna start taking it a little bit more serious as, you know, a threat in college football.
If he gets a win, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, if he gets a win.
Oh, okay, because I'm feeling like he's already played with house money, in my opinion.
I mean, of course,
you was already feeling you had the security. You was never going to get anywhere. You was never getting fired. So the fact that you got to a playoff game and you're like, oh, the monkey's off your back, the pressure's off your back. You did it, man. You did it, y'all. Joe, we did it. You know, and that's how I feel. That's just how I feel. We did it, Joe. We did it. And that's just how I feel. I don't think he has any extra incentive to try to prove anybody wrong, because I don't think he was trying to do that anyway. Like, I think he was comfortable, and I think he's comfortable being here. But like I said, once again, I'm not trying to say that in the negative. I wasn't trying to be negative towards him. That's just a retort to what you said.
Oh, 100%.
Do you have any confidence in their passing game? Because you don't have any confidence in Georgia's offense. I'm specifically Michigan's passing game. Do you have any confidence in that?
I have more than Georgia's.
Okay, I'll accept that.
That's all I can say. I have
that big boy in the middle for Georgia. I do not think Michigan will be able to run like they're accustomed to.
And that's why I felt like this is going to be one of those defensive games where it's just whoever makes that one extra play. And I just think it's going to be Michigan who makes that one extra play. What's his name? Jordan Davis or something like that?
Yeah, that's how I've been put up my scout eye. Put up my scout eye. Can you pull up that comment
from who?
Can you put up that comment from Mark? I can't do it because I'm on my phone.
This one?
Yeah.
How much do you think losing the SEC championship game affects Georgia?
Tremendously. That's why I have Georgia.
Okay.
You had this defense that been playing lights out the entire year, and next thing you know, you get your ass whooped against Bama on national TV in the championship game that nobody else been able to do to you all year. That's a bad taste in your mouth. And like some people, and I can see how you're looking at it. Like some people can just take getting bullied and don't bounce back, don't respond well. I'm looking at it on the positive end that they ready to show that was just a blip on the radar. This is who we really are. Let's get back to showing y'all this is Georgia football. That's how I'm looking at it. Now, can they still go out there and lose the game? 100%. But this defense is not about to show up like they did against Bama. That's how I'm looking at it. But I can definitely see, because some teams don't recover. After you get exposed and you get shown that this may not be how you're going to really win these games, they don't really bounce back. So I can see how you're getting there. So don't expect me to change your mind. It's just, I'm just positive. I'm looking at it from a positive aspect for Georgia. So I do understand what you're saying.
And sometimes getting punched in your mouth, it can get you up and get you prepared and ready to go. And sometimes you get punched in the mouth, and that second left is on the way, and you wasn't even expecting that. And I think Michigan has that kind of offense to do the same thing, where it's just like because even when they came out against Bama, I don't think they had intentions on getting punched in the mouth. Sometimes people just punch you in your mouth, and it wasn't shit you could do about it. And I think sometimes I believe Michigan has that offense to really come out. They gonna fight. I'm not saying Georgia's not gonna fight. I'm not saying Georgia's gonna get blown out. I just think it's gonna be a slugfest. And so those punches, they gonna punch back. But I think when it comes to the offenses, I think Michigan can give you one more punch. And like I said, that's why I have Michigan in this one.
I got you.
And it's a little self-serving because I kind of want Cincinnati to beat up on Michigan when Ohio State couldn't do it.
I knew it was an ulterior motive. All right.
I got a
that out the way.
question because they always get bullied by. Oh shit, Mark got a question. I got to question it because they always get bullied by Bama, and they came in like this was the best chance to beat them, and they lost terribly.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%. Because
I agree. Like I said, they was definitely like you've been the number one seed the entire year. You've been the dominant team in the SEC the entire year. You was undefeated the entire year.
And they still and what happened was it just showed that Bama was still big brother in the SEC, regardless of you may be getting some shine, but guess what? Still mine, dog.
But this was the year that they were supposed to be the big brother. They were supposed to take over.
They were supposed to pull the Bengals and just beat everybody ass. You know that. Never mind. Yeah, Mark.
That was petty.
Fucking y'all boys up.
Oh man, poor football. He didn't deserve that. You trying to stay?
Man, that's my man Joe. Hey, was you thinking about that when you put a 525 on him? Maybe.
You ready for the? I mean, we can stay here if you ready. I mean, we can stay get our recaps on if you want to.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, that was crazy. That Bengals performance was one for the ages.
And guess what? It was definitely one for the ages. And I don't give a good goddamn about anybody saying, "Oh, the Ravens was hurt. Why you bragging about an injured Ravens team? This, and that." Look, dog. Aaron Rodgers faced that Ravens team. He put up 200 yards.
Almost went to overtime with him, right?
Almost went to overtime with him. It took a call that didn't go the right way. And guess what? That's cool. Winks. If it was such a practice squad team, Winks shouldn't have said nothing about Joe Burrow. Everybody talk about they don't. I heard Mike Florio talk about he don't like the response that Joe Burrow gave. Let's not talk about the response that Joe Burrow gave then, because if nobody said anything about Joe Burrow, he would have had to respond that way, would he?
What was the response that he didn't like?
Talking about, he felt that it was too cocky, saying that, oh, maybe I was thinking about it and stuff like that. I'm like, what the fuck you want him to say? No, wasn't thinking about it at all. Like, nah, he said Joe Burrow answered it the proper way. He was like, I don't think it was a necessary comment. I'm not saying he was wrong, but it wasn't necessary.
It was definitely unnecessary. Look, listen, you went because I remember I know the Wink comment because when he was like, "Oh yeah, we played this coverage for Devontae Adams. We're definitely not doing that for Jamar Chase." Like, bro, we don't have to get his Hall of Fame jacket for Joe Burrow. You could have stopped it and said we're not playing the same coverage at Jamar Chase. You didn't have to do the backhanded comment that you claim it was. It was a blatant diss. Like, you didn't have to do that. And I get it. It's a robbery. I mean, you can do what you got to do. But what coverage did you play? Because something ain't work.
And here's my thing. The way you talk about, I don't think you even had to say what you said about Jamar, to be quite honest. Just say, we will go in with the game plan to try and stop Jamar Chase and the Bengals offense. He could have said Jamar Chase isn't the only person on this Bengals offense. We're going to go with a game plan to stop the Bengals, not one player. He could have said that. But
yeah,
he was like, I think Devontae's number a top 2 receiver in the league, and he's not number 2, and nobody's buying, getting Joe Burrow's Hall of Fame jacket. None of that was necessary. Once again, like I said, all of these dudes are media trained. We always talk about how coaches are born.
Hold on. Is he media trained? Because he's a defensive coordinator. Like, I mean, how often do he really talk to the media?
Well, Wink talks to the media. He talks to the Baltimore media.
He talked to the Baltimore media, but Baltimore media was that a Baltimore media company?
But guess what? He was talking to Baltimore media when he made that statement.
Yeah, he was too comfortable.
He was too comfortable, and then it got out. So that's what happened. And John Harbaugh can't be mad about us running the score up because he does it. He does it. He did it to the Bengals twice last year. They beat us 38-3 twice.
Yeah, I don't.
And then Wink Martindale was like, he didn't like how we kicked the field goal late in the game to stop them from getting the shutout.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. Stop this. So why you mad that Joe Burrow? And this is my favorite part when Zach Taylor was talking about that late 50-yard pass to Joe Mixon. Zach Taylor was like, look, he was scrambling in the pocket. He was looking for a check down. His check down happened to be 50 yards down the field. Stop him.
I mean, at that point, like I said, when you hot, like
everything
you're not supposed to stop something that's just that hot unless you're trying to prevent injuries or whatever. But the offense was rolling, everything was clicking. Like
Bro,
you're supposed to just
everything was
put
working.
Points, like,
and once again, it was about how they were defending them because you talking about second team and stuff like that. How you talking about the practice squad players and second team players? On that Tyler Boyd play where he was wide open, that was Patrick Queen. He hit that boy. He hit that boy with a double move and broke out on him. First off, I've been saying it all year. Stop putting linebackers on Tyler Boyd because this is y'all don't know who Tyler Boyd is. He had 2,000-yard 2,000-yard seasons before last year, and he was on pace for another one. And he might get one this year.
He'll find out. But who, like you say,
we got.
It was just. I mean, it's definitely. I just didn't understand the Ravens. I think the Ravens. Really, I know the game plan was terrible. I'm not discrediting that, but I think losing the game to the Packers when they shouldn't have lost that game, or should at least win the overtime. I think that affected them this week. I think they just realized that I mean, I understand that they was on a third string quarterback as well.
He played good.
I know, but I'm just saying I understand the circumstances, but I just think that the team was just deflated. Like, this is it. Like, it's over. There's nothing we really can do.
100%. And I 100% believe I think I said this when we were started making some of our offseason acquisitions. We built our team specifically to beat the Ravens. When you look at some of the linebackers that we've drafted, like Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt, stuff like that. But if you also look at signing DJ Reader to stop the run, we, signing DJ Reader, re-signing Sam Hubbard, and trading for BJ Hill and Larry Ogunjobi. We've beefed up what we had in the middle, got some athletic linebackers. We went to kind of like a hybrid 3-4-5-2 front where you have, sometimes five linemen up front to really stop the run. The only thing that we can't do that stops the Ravens is stop tight ends.
Yeah, man.
Mark Andrews still went off, but it's like all that other shit, it ain't gonna happen. Once Lamar hit that B button on the Bengals, I felt like they start putting shit in motion to stop Lamar Jackson.
I'm starting to think that Mark Andrews is underrated, but that's for another day.
Motherfucking dog, bro.
Another day.
He's one of them motherfuckers.
But I'm also go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go to another game since we're on our recap. I'm disappointed in the Chargers, and this is what I'm so disappointed in. I'm not going to believe in the Chargers ever again until they prove me otherwise. And I normally don't. I try to fight history. History tells us this team doesn't do this. History tells us this team doesn't. And I try to erase history for them because this is a total different team, total different. New quarterback, new head coach, new system, new all that. So I'm trying to. I can't hold you to when Phillip Rivers used to come up short, or Drew Brees came up short. I can't hold you to those standards because this is new. You go out there and you lose to the Texans, and you didn't even compete with the Texans. The Texans went out there and played y'all like they weren't the Texans.
Right. Yes.
So yes. I was just confused. You threw a pick six. Yeah, when you're trying to make a comeback, I'm trying to figure out what was going on. I'm so disappointed. Now you're out of the playoff race. You had a chance to solidify yourself as a playoff team. I'm not saying you could have clinched or anything, but you could have helped, put a one leg up in the race. But now you're outside looking in. Now you need some help. You need to win some help. I'm not saying that they're completely out of the race, but it's I don't believe in them even when they get in the playoffs. And I'm so disappointed because you have a hot young quarterback that Everybody's praising as one of the next ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just confused.
And that's why all season, to be quite honest, I've always said, what's the difference between Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert? Everyone's talking about Justin, like early in the season, everybody was talking about Justin Herbert. Oh, out of the new crop of quarterbacks, he's the closest thing that we got to Patrick Mahomes, and this and that. He's gonna be one of the next great. But what I've always, and to me, it was just like coming into the season, the Chargers were a trendy pick because everyone felt that Justin Herbert was going to elevate them to this next level. But personally, I was like, what's different between them and the Bengals? They're a young team, and so are we. And every year, there's those young teams that are going to come up. They're going to surprise some people, and they're also going to lose some games that you're like, how the fuck did you lose that?
Mm-hmm.
But and we talk about perception. Nobody has a worse perception than the Bengals. It's almost like we're all like, even the Lions. But it's like we're always supposed to trick it. And so that's why I was just like, hey, this team, they beat us, but they have lost some games too, where it's just like, how you lose that? You're supposed to win that.
I think
it's the NFL. Teams lose close games.
I think the part that pissed me off the most was I didn't see anything about it. Like,
you won't though.
And that's the part that pissed me off the most is like, but you're ready to praise Justin Herbert and the Chargers anytime that they win. But now all of a sudden, when they do a clunker like this and that they had no business losing, and next thing you know it, I understand that it doesn't have to be on the A block of any show, but y'all can talk about it at all. Y'all can make a post. Y'all can do none of that. Y'all just want to keep talking about the same exact thing every.
When we lost to the Jets, that shit was everywhere. Oh, the Bengals, this and that. They made Mike White's career. They're going to send Mike White to the Hall of Fame. Everybody talking about that with Davis Mills and how, bro, he had Davis Mills and Philip Dorsett was looking like they was at their college, like they was in college.
Davis Mills has been playing all right, to be quite honest.
But what I'm saying, though, it's like,
he wasn't supposed to win
he wasn't supposed to win that.
He wasn't supposed to win the game. No. Because they didn't have no excuse. They had all their players. They had their people there. They had you were for a playoff berth. That's supposed to change seeding right there. You supposed to improve your seeding right then and there, not fall out the playoff race.
Exactly. So, it's everything is all on perception and narrative. We've always talked about that, but
it's just that because I'm looking at the quarterback rankings that PFF shows and all. I'm looking at all the pages on all. I'm looking for something. I've seen a couple memes of they lost to them, but it's like, okay, Herbert still doesn't drop in none of the rankings or nothing. It's just I'm like, what does he have to do to fall off? Because I know everybody talked about my quarterback having a slump, and what did I say about the slump?
Hey,
it really wasn't what it was.
100%.
And then what he showed out this Sunday, it really wasn't what he put out whole game stats in the first half. You talking about ass whooping?
He came out and said, "Oh shit, I need to get this comeback player of the year," and this motherfucker's wilding.
Yeah,
but
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
because I wanted to text and say, "Hey man," because after he put up 500, Joe Burrow put up 500. I say he might got to come back. But then my dog,
he held you down
on a national stage. I'm like, see, that's all you got to do. That's all
hey, look. That shit on the national stage, that shit worth 10 times more points too.
That's in the half, brother. This just say, if he'd have played the whole game, he'd have had 600. But I like how they came out there. I like how they showed up. Once again, it was a depleted team. If it wasn't Washington, if they wasn't a rival, I would actually feel bad for them. But I actually don't because they're a rival. But to keep it real, them playing Tuesday, which I knew was going to affect them coming turn around and trying to play Sunday night. That's why I was trying to tell any fan that would listen that please do not try to advocate for them postponing this game because it's not going to do anything for y'all. I understand y'all had a COVID outbreak. I understand that it was running rapid. Y'all definitely was low on players. Y'all needed as many players that you needed to get positive.
Your season.
But it was like I said, it was a trickle down. Moving that game to Tuesday was going to do nothing but lose Tuesday and lose Sunday, and that's exactly what you did. You did a double whammy for no absolute reason. and now you look foolish.
100%.
But like I said, I would feel sorry for them if they won the rival, but that was the best I can give them.
100%. And we was talking about slumping QBs, but hey, the Chiefs, they looking like they cooking in the AFC. And
Pause. Before you go, did we ever discredit the Chiefs?
No,
not one episode.
Not one episode.
Discredit Chiefs.
But
I know what you said.
No. Our guy Farmer, I retweeted it a couple weeks ago when they went on like a 4-game winning streak, and I shared his post when he said, "Whatever, it wasn't it funny about everybody in the preseason crowning the Chiefs as the automatic AFC champs." And I'm like, when they was like, I think 3 or 4 games into this win streak, I'm like, hey, bro, this ain't aging too good.
Mm-hmm.
And now they got the number 1 seed pretty much locked up, unless some crazy things happen. But they win this week, it's theirs, pretty much.
Which is scary because you said pretty much, you said, hey, you need to lock in. That was pretty much you said. You didn't downgrade him, you gave him criticism. Nobody is it from criticism. And at the time they deserved every bit of criticism. But we never wrote them off. That was the funny thing about it. Exactly. And before we played them, and before the Cowboys played them, I said they're back. And they weren't even fully back before when I said it. I just stated out of fear that they back. This defense is on fire. And what happened when they won the Super Bowl? The damn defense was on fire. So now we
Honey Badger always around the ball.
Because he's a damn honey badger. Been doing this since a youngin. Like, that's what he do.
This motherfucker's just always around the ball.
But where we messed up at was we gave them another way to win. We showed them another way to win, and they actually utilized it. So can they be stopped? It's like, can somebody? It's like who? But any given Sunday, we get it. But like, who are we confident in that can just go match up with them? Like,
especially in the AFC, I don't know anybody in the AFC that can match up with them.
I'm not confident in nobody in the AFC right now. That's just other than them. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't.
The only team that I think can match up with them right now is the Packers.
Yeah, but that ain't in the AFC.
Exactly my point.
I think, and I'm going to be Homer bias on this one. Slump somewhat. I think y'all can give teams the blueprint on how to beat them if y'all play the way that we hope that y'all show up today. Like if Zach comes up with a good game plan or they stick with it, they execute better. And I think that y'all can show the blueprint on how to execute against this team. I'm not saying that y'all may be the ones to do it.
Right.
I just think that you can show, let's just say, for example, y'all can show the Bills on what to do. You know what I'm saying?
But so I actually think we are going to play a really good game against them, and I think it's going to be pretty close. I don't think they're going to blow us out. But it's almost like kind of the end of that 49ers game where pretty much it wasn't shit we can do with Kittle. And he just put the game in the bag. He didn't necessarily score just kind of the things that it took to seal the game. He didn't score the game when it touchdown and stuff like that. But he's the reason they won that game.
Yes.
Because it was just nothing we could fucking do with them.
Absolutely nothing.
And I think that's what's going to end up happening is it's going to be very, very close. But when it comes down to it, we just can't do shit with Kelsey,
yeah. I see our guy Ross is in the comment and he wants us to put some respect on the Titans. And the reason why I want to say this, I'm glad he said it. I'm glad he put that in. I'm glad you could just wait. Because I want to ask you this question. Do you believe that the Dolphins are going to get in the playoffs?
Who, me?
Yes, that's a direct question to you. Do you believe the Dolphins are going? You don't.
I don't.
So the reason why you don't, you must believe that the Titans are going to beat them this Sunday.
Yes, because
okay.
So when you look at who the Dolphins have beat, on this 7-game win streak. It's literally the worst teams in the NFL. It's literally every team that's going to be picking top 5.
Mm-hmm.
They ran it back twice with the Jets. I think the Texans. The only bad team that they had the Panthers
in there.
The only bad team that they didn't have, I think, is like the Jaguars. The only bad team that they didn't play.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay.
And so, I just don't think that going up against the Titans and Ross, you my guy. I just don't right now. I think y'all team is completely different without Derrick Henry, and I understand. You're hoping to get him back, but I just don't know what he will be when he gets back. But when he gets back, I'm not writing y'all off, to be quite honest. When he gets back, and if he's who he is, so I just think that Miami. I need to see I need to see them against an actual team. I'm not discrediting anything that they're doing as far as winning no 7 straight, because that's amazing. But I remember those 7 games that you lost in a row also, and who those
against. Those games when they started off, they lost some close ones too. When in the beginning of the season, and like I said, Tua missed some games.
But here's my thing: you lose some games, and they could be close. You still lost them because, like I said, because for me, the Bengals could be 12.
Say that again.
You lost some close games, but you still lost them.
Okay, but don't discredit. See, now you're overvaluing that, right? But don't discredit them from beating the brakes off these bad teams, because now they're beating the brakes off these teams down. So you're winning them. Now that's got to outweigh. That got to outweigh something.
I'm not discrediting them, but what I'm saying is pull out one of these close games.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. If you pull out a close game, okay.
One of those close games was with the backup quarterback. I understand. I'm not saying you're vouching for Tua. I'm not saying you have to vouch for Tua. You have to be high on Tua. But I'm just going to be honest. One of those close games that they lost was with the backup quarterback. Now they have an opportunity. If they went out, like I said, they can get into the playoffs. The game, I'm not going to give you an answer because, like I said, if the Titans handle business, because the Titans are supposed to, they're a better team. They're battle tested. This is what they're accustomed to do. The Titans are supposed to stop this run that they are on.
Right.
And if they do that, cool. That's what you're supposed to do, Titans. And we need you to get hot at this time. You need to get hot at this time. Get on that run. Get the confidence back in yourself. You need this game. But on the flip side, if the Dolphins beat the Titans, I don't want to hear that, they was depleted. This is a hurt, hobbled Titans. No, this is a high-ass Dolphins. And y'all should be worried about this defense coming to town.
And that's what I want to make sure I don't come off as doing. I'm not discrediting wins, but what I'm saying is now I want to see it against a team like the Titans, a team that has aspirations of actually going somewhere, postseason potential. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you show me that, I was like, okay, all right, keep it going then. You own something. You're cooking with grease now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
You want to see, and like I say, the way AJ Brown looked Thursday, coming back. So okay, like we're gonna see. So that's one of the, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like that's not flex. That's not a flex game. That's a game that's gonna be on at 1:00 that we ain't gonna be able to see. That you know what I'm saying? Unless you're a fan. Like
not even unless you're a fan, unless you in the actual market.
But you know what I meant, like
yeah, no.
Because if you're a fan, gonna try to find a way to watch his team. I get that, but like I said, this game is gonna be at 1:00 with a whole bunch of other slew of games that you not like I said. All the market games are gonna be like now. They flex the Cowboys and Cardinals game to the 4:00 game. Cool. They got playoff implications. Not really mad at that. What's the other 4:00 game? See what I'm saying? It's probably something trash. But now we got the Packers and the Vikings at night. How many times we gonna see that? Like, how many times we gonna see him in prime time? Bro. I swear I haven't seen all the Packers games. 100%. I ain't have to recap nothing.
I'm sorry. I just don't y'all. I know y'all don't. I know y'all sick of me being a homer.
Get your shit off, man.
But how is this Bengals Chiefs game not getting flexed to Sunday night? I don't understand it
At all.
It's literally the biggest game of the week. It has playoff seeding implications. It has two big stars that the NFL should want to promote. It's literally got Patrick Mahomes, who's on an 8-game win streak, against one of your up and coming stars. Like I didn't say much when the Chargers and Bengals game didn't get flexed.
Should have been flexed.
But to me, I felt it should have been flexed. There's no way, especially coming off of 500-yard performance, that you're not flexing this game. You have the Chiefs on an 8-game win streak, and you have Joe Burrow coming off a 500-yard performance, and you're not flexing this game just for. I understand Aaron Rodgers is one of your guys, but that's it. Him and Devontae.
They have
Kirk Cousins.
That game has playoff implications as well, but I think for the NFL, how you can sell it better, that game should have been on at 1:00. The outcome of that game dictates the Cowboys and Cardinals game. It dictates the rest of the games in the NFC. It dictates a lot of things that's going on in the NFC.
Right.
Like
make that
now, because think about it. If let's say the Vikings win at 1:00, that means at 4:00, the Cowboys are definitely trying to win this game extra hard to go for this number 1 seed. You don't think like we don't want to see that? Like I'm good on seeing Kirk Cousins right now in prime time. That's all we talk about, prime time. And y'all brought this option of flexing game to fruition for this right here.
For this very reason. And like you said, to be quite honest, I know what Kirk Cousins is. I'm not trying to see him. I'm not like
they already won. They already beat the Packers this year. They can very so beat them again because they need to win this game.
They can beat them again,
and don't get it twisted. It can be a good game. Remember when we disrespected the Bears in the Packers game on Sunday night again? And obviously nobody wants to watch it. That turned out to be a great game, but that's not the point. That's not the point here.
And once again, like I said, this should be a time where you're like you have the now and you have the up and coming. Like this literally should be a game that you could say, you could sell this as an AFC Championship preview because it's possible that the Bengals could clinch the AFC North. And the Chiefs could, really get in the driver's seat for the number 1 seed. This could be a playoff matchup, and you're not selling it as such.
They just game. Would y'all play at 1:00 too?
Yes, it's the 1:00 game of the week. Get the fuck out of here!
Like you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a meaningless game, and like I said, part of this flex thing is while we're still on the NFL, and before I forget it, coaches are starting to get interviewed. They'll be able to be interviewed between week 17 and week 18 now. Early. I think that's the dumbest thing ever in life. For the coaches, period. For some reason, the owners rejected the Bills' proposal of all coaches being interviewed after the season, right after the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I don't understand why the owners would reject that or would be opposed to that.
Because what the owners feel is if having it in this spot helps, quote unquote, getting a minority hire, which it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Because this doesn't help anything. What this does is only make it a mess like college football. College football hiring process is a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And that's all it's doing to the NFL. This is just making it a mess. It helps nobody. It gives nobody more opportunity. It doesn't introduce you to new candidates. This does absolutely nothing. And I think what they think, by making every coach available, after Super Bowl is that it's going to give coaches who were in the Super Bowl an advantage. When that's not always true. Not everybody wants to hire a motherfucker that's on a Super Bowl team. Like you could be a Super Bowl coordinator and not everybody's trying to come poach you.
what you said was a mess. Like you said, like
Yeah,
college football coaching is a mess. I think they want this mess. I think they want to. I think they're going to start firing more coaches in season to start this process earlier to give them something to talk about their team, other than like you said, we're talking about the Jags been in the news ever since Urban Meyer was fired. They've been losing too, but nobody's talking about them losing. They only talk about if the job good, if the culture good, and what candidates are being interviewed for the Jags. So now we're talking about the Jags because sometimes good all news is good news. So I think that they want this mess in the as opposed to actually really getting the hiring right. Because if you had a whole hiring process after the Super Bowl, that means we're still talking about the NFL after the Super Bowl. That means we already talk about the NFL yearly anyway.
that's what I'm
It's
saying.
like
That's what I'm about to
so
say,
you can
bro.
figure this thing, and y'all are marketing
The
geniuses.
NFL doesn't have to do this.
That's what I'm saying. You
They
don't have to
don't.
get messy.
You don't have to fish for headlines. You are the NFL. In America, you control the headlines. You are, bro. ESPN literally, it could be the playoffs for the NBA.
Hmm.
Jerry Jones just got to go on national TV, and it can start an A block for almost every sports show.
Pause. Just last year, was it Matt Stafford traded during one of the games, one of the basketball
Yes,
games, and we stopped watching the
yes.
game. Like we stopped watching the game and talk about a Matt Stafford trade. So don't give me this like say you the blueprint is there. My thing about this coaching thing. So let's say for example,
It was Aaron
because Dan
Rodgers
Quinn
talking. Like,
Dan Quinn was I'm just using him as an example. He told the Jags no. But let's say for example, let's
wasn't that a
say
good job?
for him.
Nah, I'm just fucking with
I'm about to say, hold on. I'm about to answer that stupid.
you.
But my thing was, let's just say let's say he wowed everybody at the interview, and they wanted to hire him. So that means that does he just stop working already now and just go to be a Jags coach? Like, how does this work?
Because if I'm the Cowboys, I think the fuck not.
Like that's what I'm saying. How does this work? Like, I'm generally confused on this aspect and how is this better? How is this better for the NFL? If that's the
It's
case.
not, bro. It's not, and that's what I'm saying. It's just gonna turn into college football, and college football is a fucking mess. You gonna have coordinators leaving in the middle of playoff runs.
The only difference between like the college football thing, and I understand why they do it in college football because of the recruiting. I'm sorry to hear that, brother, but I understand because of the recruiting process and how the recruiting is set up. I understand why the coaches
And
do
that's
how they do in
no, no,
college,
no, 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 no,
but
no, no. But that's college football's fault also, because college football keep changing signing day. They keep going early signing period, early, early. Like you don't have to do that. Look,
mhm,
because make signing period in fucking February. That's it.
okay,
Make signing period in February. Because now because now if you're thinking about firing your coach, you got to think about firing your coach early because now you need to get a new coach on board early so he can have players ready for early signing period. When no, just make signing period back in February like it always has been. So if you
hmm
fire your coach in season, okay, you can get a new coach, but make it like at least when it was February, coach was like, I'm not gonna coach the bowl game. You legit got coaches like, all right, guys, I'm out. I got a new job. I'm out.
hmm
And start recruiting for another team. And now, what I can say is I'm glad that they have the transfer portal so these guys can get up out of there now. But it's just like you don't have to do this. You're making things a lot more difficult for yourself.
Well, I gave him some bail. Like, I tried to give him some bail, but like I said, we are definitely in agreement of the coaching period should be right after the season. It would benefit everybody. You have everybody to choose from at the same exact time.
Bro,
Staff just have to be
it's 2 games left
yeah
in the season. And you got
yeah.
coaches like, nah, I'm not taking this job. No, I'm not taking this job. This is turned into college because guess what? You getting ready for it, like, because right, like if it was college, you getting ready for your conference championship a bowl game, playoff game, whatever the case may be, and you got coaches going on interviews. No, why are you doing that when they could just be in their meetings and getting ready for their actual meaningful game?
Well, I do hate it, but as a devil's advocate viewpoint, nobody's hired. Nobody got hired yet.
Nobody,
so we don't see the benefit.
Nobody's hired yet. But guess what? When I go on an interview and I know, oh yeah, I got that job, it's coming, I get a little bit more fuck it in my system. It's just like, I mail it in today.
Yeah.
I killed that shit. That shit's on the way. And sometimes, sometimes they give you the wink and the gun. They give you the wink and the gun, and you get the wink and the gun. And you're not like, hey, look, you ain't like, I ain't gonna sign right now.
That happens a lot. But nobody signed right now. But like you said, and the top coaches are not running to go to a job that you just fire somebody mid-season. That must mean that job was extra trash, right? Right or wrong. If you get fired mid-season, either you're John Gruden or it's extra trash. And 9 times out of 10, your team was extra trash.
I think
I'm just being. So,
I think the Jaguars is both though. Urban Meyer was John Gruden.
And extra trash. So he did both. So I'm definitely not running quick over there. The Raiders haven't even had interviews. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I know we hate the rule. Because it doesn't make sense. Because you can make this thing better, but let's just not panic yet because most teams may not even,
I'm not necessarily panicking. I'm just like looking into the future because just like you said, there's no coaches. Like no coaches have been hired yet away from other teams. But down the line, it's going to happen. Down the line, 3 games left in the season, a coach is going to change jobs. It's going to happen because a coach is going to be like, oh, shit, I could be a head coach. Yeah, give me that job. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it may not have happened now, but they came up with this rule for a reason. And somebody's going to take advantage of this rule.
They're going to have an under the table rule. They're not going to the NFL is not about to let you ruin an NFL team on purpose. They're not going to do that. They're not about to think about. They're not about to let Dan Quinn. They're definitely not about to let Dan Quinn say, "All right, I'm not coaching y'all no more for the rest of the season or your playoff run."
Bro, they won't let Dan Quinn do it because the NFL wants him to stay for certain reasons.
I'm only using him as an example.
I know you're only using him as an example, but I think if another coach was like, if a coach of say Goodwin from the Buccaneers, who's the assistant head coach, he's taking over. If the Jaguars bring him in, he's like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna take that. I don't think they will stop him. I think he'll take that job and get an under the table deal.
See, I'm not mad at your example, but that's a bad example because what else does he do other than associate head coach? Like you can just take him because he doesn't really have major day-to-day duties. You can take him, but look at it. Look at the example.
Staff, that's what I'm saying.
But look, this is what the example that I had.
It may take. Okay, let me see.
Kyle Shanahan was wildly projected to get the 49ers job when he had it. Mm-hmm. His team went all the way to the Super Bowl when he was the Falcons coordinator. They didn't hire anybody until till his job was complete. But everybody knew that the 49ers was hiring him. Mm-hmm. I think that's what's going to happen. Like it's going to. They can even let you accept the job. They can even say, "Hey, John Goodwin just accepted the Jaguars job. He's not going to pick up the job until he's finished his duties with his prior team." I think that's what I don't have that extra stone with the rule, but I think that's what they're going to do. I don't think the NFL is going to allow you to just jeopardize its product. That's a bad product. You're going to put a bad product on the field. They're not trying to do that. They just expedited the quarantine rule to get the players to play on the field.
Do that. You have the opportunity to do that in college too. There's coaches who get jobs and be like, "I'm going to coach my team in the bowl."
Yeah, that's But college don't care. College is already built off a lot of integrity is lost in college. We don't really deal with this in the NFL. In the NFL, we don't really deal with this right here. See the thing about it, they tried to hide behind to say they're trying to help minorities. Think about it. If somebody wanted to hire Eric Bieniemy, let's just be honest, they would have hired him. Because if somebody wanted to hire Brian Daboll, they would have hired. He didn't want to turn down the jobs. Don't get it twisted. He turned down jobs. He didn't. They hired Arthur Smith. You know what I'm saying? They went to the championship. You feel what I'm saying? They'll wait for you if they really want to hire you. Don't act like they don't. You know what I mean? Let's not act like they don't. So I feel they can have this unwritten rule of, you got to at least fulfill your duties. You got to at least fulfill your duties until you lose. And it is what it is. But they can start, like I said, all we're really doing is expediting the hiring process. I just don't believe, like I understand that the NFL is. There's no need. I understand that the NFL is inconsistent, and I'm definitely not trying to vouch for them. Like they're the best. They're the most. They have the best morale out of everybody. But I do know that they don't want to just jeopardize the product on the field for just for a head coaching search. Like I got a little bit more faith in them in that.
I'm glad you got faith in them.
I mean, we gonna see, and then like I said, we cross that bridge when we get there. We already projected the worst, so it's like. But we also got to look at the positive as well. Like you say, you just can't just go negative Nancy every single time when it comes to them. So it's like I said, there's other sides to the story, there's other ways to skin a cat. You know how it is.
All right. Before we get up out of here, it's the holiday season. Mm-hmm. Everybody getting a whole bunch of gifts. Mm-hmm. But a whole bunch of people is back in them stores returning some gifts. And so we almost done with the season. So going back to the draft this year and last year, what teams do you think could be taking some shit back if they could?
They're gonna feel like I'm picking on them, and I swear I'm not. And I'm gonna steal yours, AJ, before even if you go. And I know it's definitely gonna be easy to say Jalen Reagor. It's definitely gonna be easy to say Jeff Gladney. And it's definitely gonna be easy to say Henry Ruggs. So those three are definitely just easy. Like, of course, if they had a chance to redo it, they'll redo it. So I'm not gonna pick those three. And I hope AJ, you don't pick those three either. But I'm definitely gonna go this year and last year for the same team. I'm going with the 49ers. Last year, you traded DeForest Buckner away for a first-round draft pick, and you drafted Javon Kinlaw. And AJ, you know how I felt about Javon Kinlaw coming out the draft. Mm-hmm. And I actually thought it was a good idea how they did it. I'm okay. You don't want to pay DeForest Buckner. Go get somebody that can play a similar style as him. Well, that didn't work out. They definitely want the return on that one. I also think that they want a return on Trey Lance.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that he doesn't have the potential to be good and that he won't be good, but what they gave up for him, they probably could have stayed where they were and still got a Justin Fields, or they could have just outright drafted Justin Fields. And would they be in a way better predicament? Would they be in right now? I believe so. Jimmy G, a healthy Jimmy G gets the 49ers to the playoffs. I mean, that's what history shows. Yes, he's volatile. Yes, he's he plays bad at the opportune times. I understand that. I know they tired of him. But history has shown us healthy Jimmy G is positive for the 49ers. But on the flip side is you gave up a lot to go get Trey Lance. Could have stayed where you were. Probably still could have got Justin Fields, or you could have just outright drafted Justin Fields, and you might even be in a better position than you was right now. Those are the two teams, and I'm sorry, 49ers. I'm not picking on you.
I'm actually gonna pick the Jags. So okay. You look at 2020, the 2020 draft. They had 2 first-round picks. They went with C.J. Henderson and Caleb Chase.
Chason. Mm-hmm.
CJ Henderson's already gone.
Okay, go ahead.
Tristan Wirfs was what, like 4 picks behind him?
Mm-hmm.
We've always said they need offensive line help. So to me, it's almost like you probably should have went with the offensive lineman. And I understand, you know, you needed everything. And now you still need everything. But to go back, it's like, now I want to talk about your draft pick that you had when you got Travis Etienne, and you had guys like Greg Newsome still available. You still had Eric Stokes still available. So it's like you went grab CJ Henderson. He's gone. You could have sold up the offensive line. You could have gave, this is all hindsight, but this is what we're doing. This is hindsight.
No, I'm laughing because Ross had already said Jags are my team anyway in the comment. And now I got to rebuttal and retort this. What you just said is gonna really look like this is my damn team. But go ahead.
But a sleeper is also from last year. Green Bay, man. That Jordan Love pick.
That was last year?
Yeah. That was 2020.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, hey, bro. Green Bay.
Let
me read off some of just the wide receivers that went, because I know that was the big thing. So after Jordan Love was drafted, you had T. Higgins, looking like one of them. Michael Pittman. You had Laviska Shenault, Chase Claypool, KJ Hamler. And that's just wide receivers. They could have, they needed some offensive line help. Could have been Isaiah Wilson. He's been, he was thought of highly touted, and then he went completely crazy. Yeah. And then he went completely crazy. Damn, Ross. I wanted Isaiah Wilson. Thank you. But yeah, man, I just think the Jags fucked up.
Pull up some of them comments and some of the fools said, because they had some good ones. I think I see Julio.
That's funny.
Yeah.
We need that second round pick back and give them a 7th said. Panthers, just for that stupid Darnold trade. They were desperate, and I think with where the Panthers was at, I mean, I knew it would be wrong, but what happens with these NFL teams, man, when they see a quarterback that they've liked in evaluation period, they always feel like they can fix them. And it's not
the thing about the the CJ Henderson joint was that who knows if Urban wasn't really ruining the culture there? Like who's to say that CJ Henderson wasn't pan out? Like he had a decent season and he had injuries, but it's like he wasn't trash. So it's like we don't really know. And then Chason is figuring it out. He's becoming a decent player.
I didn't mention Chason. I just said he was one of the.
You said him in your second. You said it in your second one.
No, I said those were like the 2 first-round picks, but I was mainly talking about Etienne and Henderson as players.
But when you said you said they could have took Greg Newsome, they could have took Eric Stokes. They ended up getting Tyson Campbell in the second round, and he's been playing decent.
Yeah,
he's been playing decent. So it's like it didn't go that bad when it came to certain picks. Like I said, certain picks. But like I said, we playing the hindsight game, and like I said, hell, CJ Henderson's not there. And Travis Etienne didn't play this year. Like you definitely want your money back. So it's like I'm not mad at you. Not mad at you. So I know this wasn't. I know that was NFL specific. I damn sure want my money back on this Westbrook trade, bro. I want it back bad.
Fam, I low key think if y'all just was able to just cut him, y'all would be a better team. That's crazy. Like I know, I've been hard on Russ, and I said it wasn't hate, but this is why I be hard on Russ. Because of this. Like, bro, you are legit losing the team games. LeBron goes off the court. Like you and I talked about this on Christmas Day. I think you and I, Cannon, we talked about this on Christmas Day. LeBron went off the court, and it was just like, you were down 19. LeBron comes back. It's a game.
Mm-hmm.
You are legit.
You couldn't do nothing.
You couldn't do nothing. You are quote unquote a superstar. That shouldn't happen. And it's like, and if it happens, that should be just a rare occurrence. Just like, they just got hot. Literally, it happened like when Bron goes off the court in every game. It's over. Then Bron got to come back on court and pull everything back together.
My thing about it is like the things that we used to love wrestle about, and things some people we still love wrestle about, is more of a hindrance now. It's like you're not even. It's not at this point. At this point, you're not even trying to adjust. It's like, what are you doing differently with this team that can help them at this point? Because this erratic play that you're doing, the turnover. And we knew you couldn't shoot threes. Like we knew that was gonna come and go. But damn, bro, you can't even shoot the mid range no more. The mid range was your sweet spot. Like, bro, you hitting off the backboard, you hitting the top of the backboard, you clanking, like, bro, mid range, and you shooting that bad. It's like, bro, you're so much of a hindrance that I can't even think positive anymore. And now everybody know that I'll give my team way more leeway than I give somebody else's team. Like, bro, I've been saying, Russ, I told y'all, Russ starts off slow. He started to play better. Everybody wanted to blame Russ, and he was playing better during some stretches. When we went on a little run, he was playing better. But then it was like, okay, AD gets hurt. It's like, okay, damn, can y'all at least hold the fort down? You are supposed to be a quote unquote superstar, like AJ said. It's like, damn, you can't do nothing. It's like and on top of that, you're not even playing defense. So on top of that, you're causing turnovers, and you're not even giving me the dirty work on defense. It's like now you're just running around being erratic, and now it's a hindrance. So it's like you have to go. You have to break this up. I'm sorry.
That was always my knock on Westbrook. It sounded like hate, but it was just like, yes, what he puts up is gonna look good, but he will, like I've said, he will shoot you out of a game. And he will just get to the cup, and he will just toss the ball away. And I've said it before because a lot of Celtics players used to say this about Rondo. After that, kind of just like as the run started to fade, where the triple doubles weren't always just like triple doubles that would help the team. It was passes late in the shot clock or passes late when he's dribbling up under the rim. And it's just kind of just like an outlet, and it's like, okay, here. And so, yeah, you would get the ball, but it's not always just the best basketball play. And what leads from that sometimes is bad turnovers, bad possessions, and stuff like that. So, yeah, the assists, they're going to look good when it goes in. But the other stuff you don't see from that, turnovers, etc., is that, and, that takes us here. So, you and I disagree on this. So Stan Van Gundy made some comments the other day, and he said, in the NBA, achieving a triple-double does not mean a player played well. And you felt like that was the dumbest shit you had ever heard.
That is the stupidest shit I ever heard. This is complete bullshit, bro. Like, bro, you making it seem you're trying to minimize the triple-double because you don't really like Russell Westbrook. Let's be honest. He's the only one consistently doing the triple-double. Not you. I'm talking about Stan Van Gundy.
I get
He's the only one consistently out there getting triple doubles. Don't sit there and act like triple doubles are just some easy thing to do, because if that's the case, everybody would be doing it. There's only two players out there consistently doing it. It's LeBron and Westbrook. And if LeBron was out there doing the triple doubles, if he was the one averaging triple doubles, everybody would be glossing and ready to be, and be slurping them till they can't slurp no more. Pause.
No, not true.
They do it now.
I know
they do it now.
But his triple doubles, his triple doubles do look different though. His triple doubles are more efficient though.
It's a triple double.
I get that.
We're not minimizing it, bro. Do you know how hard it is to get a double double?
100%.
Let's minimize. You like stats, right? You like stats, right?
What I'm saying here,
you love stats, right? You love stats, right?
Bro? Yes.
No,
Yes.
you love stats, right?
Yes.
How many times does Chris Paul average double digit assists?
He's done it quite sometimes.
Quite some time. Because he's a pass first person, right?
Right.
And it's sometimes that he didn't average double digit assists, but he's a pass first point guard.
Right.
So let's not sit here and minimize it and act like, just because he's good at it doesn't mean he plays well. How the fuck am I playing bad and I'm over here getting 10 assists, 10 rebounds, and possible 10 points? Like that's not something easy to do. If it was so easy, if that was so bad, everybody would be doing it. And there's only a select few people doing it.
I know.
Well, hold on. And you just seen how I just lit Russ ass up. You just seen how I lit Russ up. So don't make it seem like I'm over here caping for Russ. I'm not caping for Russ. But I'm just saying he got to go. But I'm just saying, don't say and try to minimize the stat and make it seem like it's just poo-poo shit because one person is doing it. It made it seem normal. This is not normal.
Right. And I'm 100% with you. But it's also what I've said about certain, players who score a lot, but then you look and we're like, bro, you took 15 shots and you were only shooting like 35% or something like that. So yeah, the totality of the things, it's hard to score in the NBA. It's hard to get a double-double and it's hard to get a triple-double. But also efficiency matters. That was also my knock on Luka. And so that's what I was saying. Just like, yeah, you are doing this, but you are also you are also taking your team out of games sometimes by doing this. And yeah, you are getting these triple doubles and your final stat line looks good. But sometimes just because you have this final stat line don't always mean that you have helped your team win. That'd be my point. So I'm not 100% rolling with Stan Van Gundy. I do get what he's saying, but I also know it was a direct shot at Westbrook. And I'm not caping for neither one of them, to be quite honest, because I've always said what I've said, and I've been able to say that without, trying to rest my laurels on the word of Stan Van Gundy at all. But just be like the triple-double doesn't always mean, like I said, it's a productive thing to help your team. Because once again, like I said before, if you are dribbling to the basket and once you get there, you just try and find somebody to kick it out. And there's 6 other times during the game where you've did that and you dribbled the ball off your foot, threw the ball to the other team, or just threw out of bounds. That's 6 possessions you lost. Yeah, you've gotten the ball, you've gotten those assists, but those other times that you've lost, that can actually lose you the game. That's all I'm saying. And Russell Westbrook does that a lot.
But the thing about it is, because you just make it seem just because he said what he said doesn't mean the player plays well. Doesn't mean the player plays well. It doesn't mean the player played bad. Don't sit here and try to, like I said, don't try to minimize what he's doing. But Stan Van, and I know I'm yelling at you, but I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at Stan Van Gundy ass, but he ain't here. So you got to be the brunt of that. It's just the fact that you're minimizing something that your ass couldn't do. That's like come on, bro. At some point we gotta sit back and just sit back, like, come on now, bro. Like I said, getting a double.
And like I said, and I'm 100% with you.
But like I said, don't sit there on your high horse. And he probably ain't had a triple double a day in his life. It's hard getting a triple double on 2K. Like,
man, I think it's hard to get a triple double on 2K. That shit be hard as fuck because these motherfuckers do not make their shots.
And that's what I'm saying. So like, come on, bro. Like, we can't sit here and minimize something that's not normal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what we about to do, bro. That's like saying in the NFL somebody dragging their feet on a catch is easy. Like, no, it's not.
And so,
that shit. But that was a good day. We didn't hear the next day. We didn't hear the next day.
We didn't hear it. You know what I mean? Hold on, I'm trying to find something real quick.
Well, my day. Well, the other thing about them Lakers though, like I said, I know everybody's mad. Laker Nation is mad at Anthony Davis. You know, he's always hurt, he's fragile, and yada yada yada. Y'all might well get used to it. He's not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not going
It's over
nowhere.
for that.
Bron not going nowhere until he want to go with. And unless they want to fix, like I said, if they can move Russ to try to get something, they should. It's sooner than later, because it's not about to get better any sooner. You know, I know we've been dealing with
have right now, Kemba or Russ.
Kemba.
All right. Let's see. Who would you rather have right now? Russ or John Wall?
John Wall. Because I know John Wall can play defense.
Yeah.
But I've always been a John Wall supporter. I'm a John Wall supporter, so way more than I probably was a Westbrook supporter. But basically what I've seen, I know for a fact that John Wall plays defense. I do know that. You know what I'm saying? And I do know for a fact that he probably would listen to be more receptive of calming down or adjusting his game to suiting, catering to a LeBron more so than an erratic play of Westbrook. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But but off the simple fact, I know for a fact that John Wall will play defense. He's one of the best on-ball defenders at the point guard position that we had.
Absolutely. And Ross, I appreciate you with that. What I will say, because I meant to put up this one where he said, I've never heard of a player having a bad game with a triple-double. Doesn't even sound right. But what I will say is, in those seasons where Russ was averaging triple-doubles, he had about 5 turnovers. He was also averaging about 5 turnovers a game. That's still not good.
Bro, you're gonna have those,
but the
degree of difficulty
at the
is
top
higher
of the league every year in turnovers. And he's not the only point guard with the ball in his hand all the time. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's unacceptable.
The only point guard doing that.
Yeah, he is, but there needs to be some, like, he has to work to fix that. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
I've done all I can.
I'm with you.
Let's blow it up. Blow it up, though.
Hey,
I've done all I can. Like I said,
please blow it up.
You give it to Christmas. Like I said, what I say, you give it to Christmas. We don't even start really talking about basketball till Christmas, and it's Christmas. And what I seen Christmas, I seen enough.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this, dog. Go ahead, blow it up. You done blew up Staples anyway. It ain't Staples no more.
No, part that pissed me off the most was Stanley Johnson was balling, and I hate you too.
Yeah.
Stanley Johnson's on a 10-day contract and giving us some of the best basketball that we've seen from the Lakers that we've been needing all year. And that's a damn shame that it took for us to see him play to say, oh, this is what we've been missing all year. And we know he can't shoot. And he can't shoot.
He can't.
He can't shoot. But what we do know, he out there playing like he broke. And he might be broke, but that's exactly how he playing.
Shit, if I'm on a 10-day, I'm sure I need that steady income. But
we're gonna get fussed out, man. We probably exceeded our time and do this all day, but this is episode 135. Shouts out to the fourth man. Y'all in the building. Love y'all. Episode 135. Y'all know y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3Man Weave _ TikTok and Twitch, 3Man Weave _ You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. I'm Hill. That's AJ. Shout out to Kenny. He will be back next week, I think.
Yeah.
He got to start the new year, right? So he'll be back. But yeah, we out.